Hey there folks, and welcome to Completely Average Gaming, and welcome to this Project Hospital tutorial for the very first time you're opening up the game, or if you're struggling with how to get to grips with things. This is the tutorial for you. If you're wanting some advanced tips, some advanced tricks, that video hasn't been made yet at this point, but I'll be sure to link it up there somewhere once it finally drops. Anyways, sit tight and enjoy. Alright, so when you get into Project Hospital for the first time and you start a sandbox game or whatever game you want to start, one thing you should look into is your emergency department. You can find it by mousing all the way down to the left corner here. Not this big button, because that shows the department you've currently selected, but choose this button right next to it. That same goes for all the other departments you can have in the hospital. Click it and you'll get this window here showing up. On the left side here, you have some red numbers for the waiting room, the doctor's office, and the restroom, meaning the red numbers there, you need those buildings, or those rooms, sorry. You can do without the corridor, or the reception, the common room, the cleaning closet, and the stat lab, but some of those rooms take care of your environment. Some of those help you in other ways, such as the stat lab allows you to diagnose more people by having the ability to do blood work, for example. Alright, so I've just placed down a 20 by 20 foundation here. What I did was I hit the building menu up here, or building mode, sorry. You have the management mode, all the way to the right, you have the building mode, and then you have the game mode. Click the building mode. Here you got several different options. The first one is your foundations. If you build a foundation, you can also raise the outer walls by clicking this button right here, and that's what I did right here. So when you build a foundation, it looks like this. Then you hit this button, add perimeter walls, and there you go. You got the walls around it. Beautiful. Next up, in order to know what you're building in here, you can either go for building your own little rooms. That's perfectly fine. You can do that straight off the bat. One of the easiest way to do that I know of is to go back into this menu, click, for example, waiting room right here, zone it out like, say, 5 by 6, and then right click to empty out the mouse, and then right click the room, and you'll see all the yellow things in here are recommended items. We'll get to the demanded items in a minute as we get towards those kinds of things. But we'll fling in some chairs here, and that should be good. We'll get back to that when it gets more relevant, I suppose. We'll fling that there. We'll get rid of these. One thing to note when you're getting rid of stuff, don't click them and then click this. Rather, click this and then click on the object you want to remove. That way you sell it. If you just click like this, now I lost 49 bucks. Nice thing to know. Anyways, we also needed other rooms, such as the doctor's office. We can build that right next to here. Let's go that 5 by 6 as well. And we're going to go with the restroom over on the other side here. We're going to leave 4 space, because I know that's the door I want here. I think that was 4 space. If not, that's fine. Now, all you see here is all the orange things here. You need those things in order to make the room functional. And then you have some yellow stuff here that you can add for benefits. Some of these things have the same function, like for example the equipment cabinet and the equipment cabinet tall or wall mounted equipment. All those 3 are the same. So if we put down one of these, this one for example, all of them are now are white, meaning you got those now. You don't have to worry about it anymore. I know that we need 2 of these, but we're going to plan out the room first. Here we go with the medical bed. We're going to fling that over in this corner. We're also going to move this, actually, because it was a bad placement of it. We're going to place it there, and we're going to take this one. We're going to place that up and short that corner right there. This one needs to go on a table. You can see that when you select it. There's a blue arrow on top of things where it can be placed. You can also see it turns red when you hold it in the room, and it's sort of a space between the floor and the actual machine. So there we go. Then we're also going to add a... this one also needs a table. We're going to fling that right in right now. Same goes for the PC, but there's no tables required for it. But what you usually want to do is you want to add a desk there. The reason why I want to add a desk and a PC is that makes a workstation, which is where your doctors and nurses work. Plain and simple. Easy as that. This one is the same as the printer. This one is a lot cheaper. So I go with that, at least for now. This has to be next to a wall. We don't have the wall yet. We're going to build it in a minute. So we're going to just casually ignore that for now. And then we're going to fling that above there. We're going to put the... we don't need that one. We're going to put the medical light. Come on. There we go. Right there. That took care of some more. We're also going to put a bin in, because people like to throw their trash in a bin. Makes the whole thing look a lot nicer. Now we're going to go into the walls here. This is the wall section. It looks kind of like The Sims, to be honest. And if you're familiar with that game, you should be able to figure this one out as well in terms of the building menus. There we go. We also need a door. Next button over. Select a door. Fling it in. All is good. Next up, we're going back into here. We need a sink. Right now I haven't selected any rooms, so I could click here and get straight to the objects required in a room, or I could just select this and go through it until I find it. We also have some subcategories up here, so it should be fairly easy to find the things you need. We're going to go ahead and click on the room and put the sink in, like so, and there we go. Next up, we're going to do the restroom. We're going to do it a bit differently than we did these two rooms. These two rooms we made made ourselves. However, you can also build prefabs, and the prefabs are the rightmost selection in the build menu, right here. And then we're going to find the restrooms, which are not on the first page here. We're going to have to go to emergency, and then restrooms. There we go. And there's usually several different options to choose from. Like this one is 4x6, 6x4. This is 6x6. There we go. These all now belong to the same department. What this department still needs, we can easily check by either selecting this, because we have the emergency room selected. But if we had the radiology selected and went from here to here, we'd still have radiology here as well. What we have to do then is to select emergency down here, and we can see probably have to unpause it. There we go. We don't have the rooms yet. Why don't we have the rooms yet? Alright, we don't have the building itself doesn't have a door. Sorry about that. That was a bad mistake by me. We're gonna have this door right there. That enabled all the 3 rooms, which is beautiful. If we click here now, we see that we have all 3 rooms. Everything is good. However, over on the right side here, we see that we're missing a doctor, a nurse, and a stretcher. To be honest, these are for hospitalizations. So that has very little to do with your actual running a clinic or an emergency room like we're working towards now. So what you need to do is you need to look at the different workstations. Like here, for example, you have a doctor missing. So we need to hire a doctor. You can do that by clicking here and selecting a doctor. They have different skills and different levels. Fellow is a 4-star. Intern is a 1-star. Specialist is a 5-star. Resident, I think, is a 3. And then I forget what the 2-star is. But we're going to select a fellow, apparently. We're going to go with someone who's good in general medicine, because this is general medicine, and also diagnosis, because it's all about diagnosing the patients. We're going to just select the top one. No reason to fling around. You just click it, then you put them in the room that you want them in. If you don't do that, and you put them in, say we're to put one person over here, would not be an issue, because they would go to the closest workstation, and that would be where they were told to work. As you can see, we're getting patients coming in right now, which means that our emergency room is actually operational. We'll get more into further details in the next tutorial. If you enjoyed this one, be sure to fling a like at it. If you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, or questions, be sure to leave those down below in the comment section. And if you want some more tutorials, be sure to ask for those as well, because I will gladly do them. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, cheerio. Now, For those of you still hanging around for some reason, why not check out one of my series on Project Hospital? There should be popping up left, right, and center around me right now. There should be 2 there. There should also be a YouTube's best recommendation for you. Might I suggest that? Or might YouTube suggest that? Who knows? It's up to you. Alright? So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheerio.